the one, the only, Ben Good morning, welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun to Lean On. Today we're doing Simon Reish Mem Dalet Hilchos Shabbos 244. I want to talk today about something which is different between in Simon Reish Mem Dalet. There's two types of malacha that basically you're not supposed to instruct a non-Jew to do. There's metaltlin and mechuber. Metaltlin is to say I have a suit. I say make me a suit on Shabbos. It's not allowed. You can't weave clothes. You can't fashion clothes on Shabbos. It's malacha d'oraisa. But again, in shlichus la'akum, there's no shlichus for a non-Jew. A shliach, a non-Jewish person, can't act as my emissary in doing a malacha. Besides the fact that in shliach l'dvar avera, right? There's no shlichus l'dvar avera. Maybe by a non-Jew there would be shlichus, but there's no shlichus by a non-Jew. The Gemara Maseches Kedin says non-Jewish people are not b'nei shlichus. They're not people that are part of shlichus. You hear the loud announcements this morning. Rabbi Gershon Edelstein, who was the biggest rabbi here in Israel, he passed away earlier this morning at 10 o'clock at the age of 100. They're having a big levaya this afternoon. That's why you hear these cars passing up and down. So he builds it b'isser. So you're not allowed. There's a difference between mechuber and metaltlin. If I tell him to make me a jacket, make me a suit, right? And I tell him specifically to do it on Shabbos, that's Eina Yehudi. That's Amir La'akum. There's no Shlichus La'akum. However, the Rabbanan said it's like a Shlichus, so therefore it's Asur. I'll explain this more in a second. When it comes to mechuber, building a house, for example, or building, the bricks or fashioning the beam that you're going to put into the house, which is essentially done for something mechuber, the halachas are more stringent over there. And even though technically you did it b'kibolas, basically you said build a house whenever it's good for you, and therefore when he decides to do it on Shabbos, he's not doing it. But if it's done for Hesia, it's done in front of a lot of people, they'll think you did it, right? Like with the Reish Mem Gimel, people will think that you did it, you instructed him, you paid him by the hour to do it on Shabbos. So that's a problem of Maras Iyun. Now, it's a big machlokes if you built a house in public, but you told him to do it b'kibolas. You told him to do it on his own terms, whenever he decides to do it. He does it on Shabbos, but he does it in the middle of a Jewish city. So there's Maras Iyun over here. So it's a big machlokes. Look in the Ber Heitav over here. He brings that, and the Magen Avram over here. They bring it to machlokes. Rabbeinu Tam seems to say that b'diavad it's mutter to use that house. You're not supposed to do it because it looks like Maras Iyun. You're allowed to use that house. Other poskim say no. Seems to be that the maskana of the poskim is that you could use that house. But it's a big machlokes. We learned in Simon Reish Mem Gimel at the end. Also, it's a machlokes when it comes to a spa, which is also mechuber l'karka, or a field or something like that. That's all that Reish Mem Gimel was talking about, mechuber l'karka also. And the same machlokes is basically the same idea. That if you, technically it's not a mirror la'akum, but it looks like a mirror la'akum, it's Maras Iyun, so one opinion says you can't use it, one opinion says you can use it. However, if it's Maras Iyun on doing metaltlin, telling him to make a suit or something like that, everyone agrees that if he does it in his store and all the customers in his store are Jewish, and we know he's doing it for Jewish, even though you didn't tell him to do it on Shabbos, but that's Maras Iyun. That's not a problem. Everyone says you can wear the suit. No one says, it's only by a house, that it's only mechuber. Mechuber is more, if you're looking at these halachas, mechuber is more stringent than metaltlin. Why is it more stringent than metaltlin? And the answer is, it goes back to the idea of Amir La'akum, being a shlichus of a non-Jew. Again, you can't make a non-Jew into your shliach. But there's two aspects of shlichus. This is, two ways in yeshivas they talk about shlichus. One way of understanding shlichus is that when I appoint an agent to do something for me, he's acting as my yad arichta. He's doing it for me. He's like, I'm extending my hand through the shliach. So I'm doing the ma'aseh. His action revolves back to me. It's like I did the action. That is not applicable by a non-Jew because they're not b'nei shlichus, the Gemara says. They're not incorporated in b'nei shlichus. His hand is different than my hand. He can't do an action for me. But that's the action part. In terms of the results, there's another type of shlichus where, for example, it's called ma'isa kof or something like that, where even I would instruct an ape or something like that to do it like that. The point is you don't want the action to be done by you. You want You want the result. That's what you're interested in, the result over there. So in terms of that, there's no exclusion from a non-Jew, because even if a monkey did it, you instructed a monkey to do something, an ape to do something for you. A non-Jew also, right, not Jewish, if he does it for you, so that transfers back to you the totzah, the result. It's on your account. It's under your name. It's on your account. So that aspect of shlichus does apply by non-Jews over here. So when it comes to metaltalin, when I instruct a non-Jew to make a suit for me on Shabbos, so right, there's no there's no such thing as a status. There's no status. When the suit is done, the suit is done. There's no status. There's nothing left. The suit is going to be transferred to me. So the only thing we're worried about over there is the ma'aseh, is the action of the person making the clothes. And again, that is amir la'akum, which is derabbanan. It can't be midoraisa. There's no acts of shlichus over there. When it comes to a bias, when it comes to building real estate, or something which is mechuber lakarka, that will remain there, right? When he builds the house, it's not that he's gonna he made the suit. He's giving the suit to me. The suit will never stay in its place in his tailor shop. He'll give it back to me. The house will remain in the same place the whole time. That's why mechuber is more stringent, because there is an aspect of shlichus for a totzah, for a result. The non-Jew can do that. So therefore, in a certain sense, that a non-Jew is acting as a shliach. If I were to instruct the non-Jew to build a house on Shabbos for me, and I'm paying you, build it on Shabbos, and I'm paying you by the hour to work on Shabbos, that potentially could be shlichus midoraisa. And that's what's more stringent. It's doraisa. Now, obviously, if you did it b'kibolis, you did it with kablonis, you told him, finish at your own time, and he decided to work on Shabbos, so if it's farheski, it's maras ayin, so that's maras ayin, right, on something which is potentially a shlichus. You didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. It just looks bad. So it's maras ayin, which we discussed whether it's doraisa or derabbanan, but it's definitely less stringent than actually doing malacha on Shabbos. Maras ayin, maybe it's doraisa, but it's only an isser in the Torah, or it's maybe a mitzvah's essay. V'yisem nikim elokim v'adam. It's a mitzvah's essay. It's a mitzvah's essay, but it's not doing malacha on Shabbos, which carries the penalty of skila or kares or chad karman chatas if you do b'shogeg. It's much more stringent to do malacha on Shabbos if he's actually doing it for you. So therefore, there's a reason by mechuber to be more stringent over here. Only in the case where you didn't actually instruct him. You did actually instruct him. I'm being machadish over here. That maybe you'd violate a malacha d'oraisa through the non-Jew by building your house. If I told a non-Jew, build a house for me, and I'm paying you by the hour to build it on Shabbos, you're responsible. That midoraisa, not midorabanan. Now, whether you can get punishment for that, that's a different discussion. It gets the concept of shliach l'dvar aveira and shliach l'dvar aveira by non-Jews. Whether you can get punished for skila or courage, something like that. No, but I'm suggesting it's probably a level of d'oraisa, and that's why with mechuber is more stringent. Now, we happen to pass like Rabbeinu Tam that even by mechuber, if you didn't instruct him, you said kabbalah, do whatever you want. It's the only problem maras ayin and d'oraisa. We happen to be makel, over here, like Rabbeinu Tam. However, if you actually, my chiddush is that if you actually instructed him doing a job and you paid him by the hour, you would violate malacha d'oraisa of doing malacha on Shabbos through the non-Jew, because that's a totzah. You're interested in the result of having the house built, and therefore it's more stringent. I hope you enjoyed today's share. See you on the next one.